What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel for another episode of The Rundown. We are back. We are super sorry about the delay. I saw DS's message pop up and I'm like, Anthony, we got to go. He's going to come for us. So here we are. We're back. Thanks, DS, for the push. Sorry about the delay, guys. Just getting set up and getting everything ready for the show, slides-wise and everything. But I'm glad to be back. Anthony, how are you, brother?
Yeah, I'm fine, man. Good to be back. Looking forward to doing these two, especially Obi-Wan, to be honest, episode 5. And I was
Yes.
kind of stressing to find these figures and post them up because we really needed to post these up. And
Oh, yes.
kind of managed it, but it was a kind of rush job, so sorry.
Yeah, so we're sorry, guys. Sorry about the delay. But let's look at that setup there. That's of course you did that because that is epic, and that
Yeah.
literally is straight out of the show. If I had the figures, I would love to try something like that as well. That is awesome. Instead, I'm still in the middle of a strange showcase, so he is here for today to check it out.
Ah,
and hang
strange
out with
pitch
us.
anyway. Marvel,
Yeah.
Star Wars, doesn't matter.
Yeah, look, Miss Marvel's mentioning Star Wars every 2 seconds at the minute, so I think it's no problem mixing the two. But let's see who out of all our legends are here in the chat, because we've got some new ballers in here. Let's check his out. So we've got DS in the house. Put me on the clock. Bob Dylan. Oh, Bob Dylan's in the house. What's up, brother? Thanks for being here.
Cool.
Thanks, guys. See you, Dream. What's going on? See ya. Welcome back. Welcome back. No rush, love.
Of course not.
Mawitzo, what's up? Mawitzo missed us last week, but he hit me back with the rating after, so you're a champion. Thanks for doing that too, mate. Pretty cool, Anthony.
Thanks,
yeah,
man.
it's a pretty sick setup. It's a pretty sick setup. And he is Mojo's 78. He is flexing. When he popped up on the screen, I'm like, holy shit, I'm not ready for this. But yeah, he's flexing. Loved that IG Logan of the Doctor Strange figure. Thanks, mate. Yeah, I've loved taking some pictures of them. I tell you what, this is I had so much fun playing with the figure that I have with this Doctor Strange. Like, even with the limitations of the ankle mobility, I actually am enjoying that because I'm trying to figure out and play around with how I can use it to my advantage and still pull off poses that you might not think you could do. So I'm excited to show you guys. I don't want to give away. I generally give away everything in the damn Instagram as I'm making it because I document the making of it with photos and things and videos. But this time I'm trying to keep a few things hidden to surprise in the showcase. But I look forward to showing you guys that. Well, it's been a pretty good week for shows, Anthony. I think we should probably kick it off because you know how we do. We're probably going to be here for 2 hours. So let's kick it off. I need to let you get some sleep. And I've also brought in the rating system for Miss Marvel this time for the 5 slushies, up to 1 to 5 slushies. So we'll hit that at the end. But let's kick it off now. I want to start with you. And guys in the chat, let us know how you felt about episode 5 and when this first scene popped up on the screen. Anthony, what do you think, brother? What do you think of this?
Yeah, I think this is what everyone has been waiting for since Obi-Wan had been announced. I mean, I think we all wanted to see Hayden Christensen and Ewan McGregor go at it again, see some flashbacks. And then he went into the Bacta tank, and we still didn't get any flashbacks. So this was really great to see. Awesome.
Yeah, it was good. How did you feel about the de-aging stuff bother you at all? That doesn't matter.
No, great. To be honest, it was really cool seeing Hayden Christensen just how he is at the moment. I liked it.
Yeah. I wonder if that was a decision that they tussled about, whether they do the full de-aging or whether they, maybe budgets might not allow it, being that most of the show has a lot CGI all throughout it. But I was happy. Look, I'm not going to cry over spilt milk. I'm just happy that they did the scene, to be honest. I think it was really, really cool fun to see. And after seeing them in interviews together, and seeing their chemistry off screen, it was cool to see them do this. Just Ewan's hair, man. His hair was a nightmare, and back in this scene, it's not a good hairstyle. Bob's this feels were high as Anakin's. I can't even say that word, but I know what you mean. Count midichlorian. It's midichlorian, isn't it?
Yeah,
Midichlorian count.
midichlorians.
The fuels were as high. Nice bomb. It was cool to see. It really was cool to see.
Yeah, it was a bit higher now.
Yeah. Butch in the house. What's up, guys? At work, but watching and listening. Thanks for being here, Butch. You're a bowler. Getting away with it at work too. I like that. I like that. Interesting for an opening episode as a Padawan, leading to what transpires. Yeah, I thought the way they've set up this whole episode was really good. I really liked how they did that. I'm just going to go to the journey. I still feel like it could have been in the last episode, but I understand how it worked in this episode, them having flashbacks and thinking like Obi thinking about how he, how Darth is and how his anger will fuel him to make these rash decisions because he wants to win and using it against him. I thought that was great. Lukagi's in the house. Trailer Park Kenobi. He literally is a Trailer Park Kenobi. He is. Oh my God. You called it. That's what it is. I don't know if I have a picture from that angle. I do have more pictures from that scene. We got Riley reviews in the house. What's up? That's the one way to show how episode 5.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Big opposing channel. Hell yeah.
It deserved it.
It deserved it. Well, let's go into the next scene. So it was cool. We'll get into the fight more because I've got more clips of the fight as we go throughout the episode. But this kind of sets the scene for where the show's going to go. I wanted to throw this one in here for the next part, being that we see Reva now knowing what happens in the episode, right? Seeing this part, could you see it? Could you see it coming when we were at this part, Anthony?
See what coming exactly?
That she was gonna, I guess, turn, or that your prediction, because let's not forget, people, Anthony predicted this.
Yeah, we already called it
way back when
1 and 2, right? Because and it was all because of the way that Moses Ingram really doesn't feel imposing or physical or intimidating at all. So she had to be cast for something else. And they also set up the escape of the 5 Padawan right in the beginning of the show. So it was kind of obvious. I would have liked her to be really badass or stay badass, but it was fine, I guess.
Yeah. Interesting for me that if he knew, right, why is he letting it go this long? You got to wonder I'd love to see his motive, his side of why.
So he kind of explained it by saying that her rage was useful, sort of like a bloodhound, not letting go of tracking down Kenobi. So that kind of means that Vader had to attend to other things, and it was kind of easy for him and the Inquisitors to let Reva just seek out Kenobi.
Yeah, I wonder if the Grand Inquisitor knew, because he took a blade for it, right? He took a saber for it, for the cause. But it was good to see more Vader, definitely. Right off the bat, I'm enjoying seeing more. Like, I want more. I want to see. I like what they're doing with him. It's not. I'm not holding them to the past. They've got to do new things.
And there are the character. 2 kind of really cool things, I guess. I think there's like this parallel process between the fight between Anakin and Obi-Wan, and Anakin and Obi-Wan later. So Vader and Obi-Wan. And also, this Vader is not the Vader we see in A New Hope. This is still a bit Anakin and a bit Vader. And I think Hayden Christensen portrays that really well.
Yeah, and nor should it shouldn't be anything else, because he's a lot younger. They're probably how many years younger than 20 years or
it's like 10 years before New Hope, I guess.
Yeah, so 10 years. So he's still got a lot of learning to do. And to think we've missed 10 years of what he's been doing to build it. Imagine if they did a show of him building from when he first gets put together. Building from there would be crazy. Seeing him build the empire to the level that it gets to. We've got KC Toy reviews in the house. What's up, mate? Thanks for being here. I actually watched your Dark Knight review the other day. Yesterday, I think it was. No, yesterday or the day before. I was training and I watched your Dark Knight. I'm pretty sure you did Dark Knight one, right? So shout out to you, mate. We've got 16 Figure Focus in the house. Called the story arc after the first episode and happy with it. She's 100% modded. She has cybernetic stomach, midsection like Fennec. Oh, in the third episode, she motions towards her abdomen. Hang on, he's got another one coming. Interesting.
Cool.
Interesting, Shane. I'll just skip ahead to Shane. In the scene when she has an argument with the brother Inquisitor, it looks like she's going for her saber, but actually she is concerned that her cyber parts have been damaged. Oh, Shane. Shane-o. All right. Dropping fire. I did not see that.
It would make sense after being stabbed by a lightsaber by Anakin in Order 66. So there's no other way to survive it than I think being murdered.
Yeah.
It's a great one.
I guess, yeah, because they allude to her being stabbed in the flashback, don't they?
Yeah.
Shane-o. Okay. All right. Dropping fire. I like it. Let's just go back to Riley. What's Riley saying? 16 Vegas. That's a great theory. I'm in on that.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll take that. Yeah, I'm in on that now too, brother. Wow. Okay, see, wow, thanks. No problem, mate. That's why she is still alive.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. I'm going to run with that. I will rewatch that. You've given me and Anthony. If you want to give Anthony another, you don't have to say much. You don't have to say much to get Anthony to watch it again.
Dude, it's not as bad as Moon Knight and See a Dream with the Colors, but I'll watch it again.
Yeah, that is classic. All right, I'll run with that. It's just a flash.
Yeah, it's like the Holy
Everybody
Grail,
in these shows getting stabbed in the stomach and surviving. So you know,
that's so Monty Python.
Yeah. I'll get you the timestamp. One moment. Oh, damn. Okay. He's doing it. Yeah, and put it in the chat, brother. So I really like this. I took a picture that I didn't add in before when they're traveling together. I loved that scene, seeing them bloody in the ship. It was awesome. But nevertheless, I took out quite a few clips at the start to fit in more for the end. We've got about 18 slides for this and about 13 or 14 for Miss Marvel. I'm trying to consolidate. Once this finishes, it'll be a lot easier for Miss Marvel. Yeah. If Maul can survive, anyone can. That is true. That is true. Reva.
Shit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's a shit there. I couldn't see that. Okay, so we get to here. It's great to see him back. I was happy to see him back. That's why I included the picture. I was going to use a different one, but what did you think about him coming back? Well, to the show, did you see it happening?
Okay, this kind of. I would like to say 2 points about this one. First of all, he is like the epitome of my point, saying that there aren't a lot of great actors around anymore. I think it's just that casting directors are really epic, because he's just Kingo. He's Kingo in Star Wars. It's literally the same kind of character, but wrapped in robes. But when I see him, I only think Kingo.
Yeah.
Second of all, he would be a great character to introduce into the Star Wars mythology or world, and also a great way to introduce it. It's not about him; it's still about the characters, the titular characters, the Obi-Wan and Anakin, and he kind of floats around in the whole series. This would be a great idea a great way to introduce new characters.
I think so.
Yeah.
Continue, because I want to hear what you got to say about it.
Because he kind of has the Harrison Ford boyish, happy-go-lucky kind of charm, doesn't he? So I really like him.
Yeah, he's a likable guy. I think he has that Ryan Reynolds-esque wit about him. I feel like he's very witty, and I think
he's funny without doing anything.
Yeah, and it's just it's that humor. It's a humor that sits with me pretty well. Like I love that Ryan Reynolds Deadpool type humor, and he has a way of being like that. Well, you know what I was thinking when you were talking about it? It would be a great. Hear me out. Imagine if he had a show based on him helping people get to safety, and like a show about because him not having any powers. I think that'd be amazing. I think that'd be super fun to watch.
And I like this way of introducing. Yeah, and I like this way of introducing characters more subtly. I like it way more than the way they introduced Reva, just blatantly in your face. almost about her kind of introduction.
Yeah, that whole scene when we meet him and he's helping the family and doing the tricks, that was spot on. But I would watch a show of him literally going through the galaxy, just helping people get to safety, and then just with his wit and his sidekick and everything. I think that would be a fun show.
And I'm
You
helping.
sometimes,
I would love the
right?
con artist prequels first.
Yeah, that would help. And First Kagi is saying, I feel like Kingo just wandered into a Star Wars for fun. He's just cruising. He just cruises in.
Yeah,
He
so
could
my
well.
grandfather, he hang out with Yoda, and this is my great grandfather. This is my father. This is me.
That would be classic. Tom Fleury, hope I'm saying that right, Tom. What's up, you guys? Looks like another great rundown. Been looking forward to keeping up with the great content. Oh, thank you
Thanks,
so much,
man.
Tom.
Thanks.
Appreciate you being here, mate. Join the conversation too. Let us know if you have any thoughts on the show as we go through the slides. Yeah, I think he's a cool character. He is cool, right, Mojos? I think he's really cool.
Yeah.
And I would definitely watch a show on him just because of his charisma.
Yeah.
Okay, so focus is back. It's episode 3, exactly 10 minutes and 51 seconds in. There is a 1-second clip of her hand in her abdominal section, and I thought it looked very unusual. It's either a wound or her cybernetic parts. Man, that's why we call him Focus, because he was on point with that.
Yeah, and I think they'll go with a wound, but I like your theory about cybernetic parts a lot more because it's the only way she could actually survive.
It makes way more sense. It's kind of like when we were choosing to believe that Vader let him go at the end of episode. Was it episode 2, 3? Episode 3. Episode 3. I don't know. 2.
But it would have made so much more sense. 3, yeah. And it would have made so much more sense. And cybernetic parts as well, yeah.
Yeah. So people, for those watching this, you want to see that, go check it out. I will check it out after the stream.
Yeah.
That is for sure. Thanks for that, Shane. Baller. Bob Dylan, probably a bad Bantha burger.
Like a Bantha burger.
That song, I swear, that song gets stuck in my head. I'll be singing it while I'm driving, for Christ's sake. Yeah. Bob's also saying, you've seen the conditions that they handle their meat produce in Tatooine. That is true. That is true. Just out in the desert, unkept. But I thought it was good seeing him back. Once I saw him back, I'm like, okay, we might see more of him. I'm looking forward to that. Bring it on. Yeah. For sure. All right, so we go back to another flashback of them training. Now, I'd like to know everybody's thoughts on the lightsaber action here, because for me, having no skills of deciding what looks like a good lightsaber fight, other than knowing that Revers was not good when I saw it at the end of the episode before, I thought this was pretty damn good. Some of the moves they were doing, I thought were great. Let me know in the chat, Anthony. Let me know. What did you think of the fight?
I think everyone wants to see Hayden Christensen, and I think even more people want to see Hayden Christensen do lightsaber dueling again, because he is relentless in training lightsaber combat. And I think they both did a great job, but I think Hayden did a better job than Ewan, but Ewan also did a great job. But I think they portrayed the whole arc of their characters at the moment, using this flashback very well, but they also did the lightsaber fighting very well. I mean, Anakin is supposed to be the rash, cocky duelist using Form 5, which is mainly focuses just on heavy, crude striking, to be honest. So it has no eye for any defense. It's just offense. And I think they portrayed it really well. And Obi-Wan is using Form 3, which is sort of the counter to lightsaber dueling. So he's much more defensive, well thought out, and he is mostly defensive, but he has time to think about using the Force and disarming Anakin while in combat. So it's well done, man.
I thought it was well done.
I think this episode is kind of what we wanted the whole series to be, at least for me.
Yeah. I wanted to touch on talking about their lightsaber dueling and how it reflects to their character, right? Because what I've been noticing throughout the show, and it kind of hit home more watching this episode the second time,
Yeah,
is I notice Ewan McGregor when he's wielding the lightsaber, he's very almost in a way elegant with it and
yeah,
slow and controlled. When you see him blocking some of the shots and some of the twirls he does with his hands, I think it was at the end of the last episode when he was taking some guys out, and he did
yeah,
this little spin with it and like kind of step back in like a pose. I feel like that's a good way of him showing you the type of manner of Obi-Wan.
and
Does anybody agree with that? Like, I really feel like he's very elegant and slow and controlled, whereas when we see Anakin, he's so forceful and blunt and moving forward. Like he's always moving forward. Vader's always seems to be moving forward to someone, or
yeah, yeah.
coming forward. What do you think on that?
Yeah, so it's not them imagining or figuring this out. It's all 7 forms have been written out very detailed, and so his form is really supposed to be more like a counter to lightsaber fencing. So it's more flurrying, it's more elegant, it's more blocking and defensive. And Anakin's style is supposed to be offense only. It's just pressure, pressure, pressure. So it's not them figuring that out as actors. It's just the lightsaber choreographer really knowing his stuff. And
well,
to be honest,
that
I
makes
imagine
sense.
that Hayden Christensen knows the stuff as well.
I even think Ewan would. Surely he seems like a massive fan of it. I'm sure he's done. He's put some effort in to making. I feel like he's portraying just the little moments when he stops wielding shots. I feel like really reflect his calmness as a character. I quite enjoy. I just got deep down the rabbit hole of thinking about that bit before. But let's just address these two guys' chats. We've got Muitso. I thought that it was shot better than the Vader Obi-Wan duel in Episode 3. Definitely felt like the prequels in how they fought. Yeah.
And they have great chemistry doing it as well.
Yeah. Definitely. Tom, thanks. Tom's saying thanks, and absolutely love everything Marvel and Star Wars have been doing. Never thought I'd see the stuff live action, and I really do love just about everything they have done. Yeah. That's awesome, mate. Yeah, it's a great time to be a fan of these properties, isn't it? Just being able to see. I don't care what anybody says about, they're doing too much of this, doing too much of that, whatever. Like, you're not the one making it. They are. Take what you get. You don't have to watch it. I'm loving it. S-Beam's in the house. Just wanted to say, hey, what's up from work? We'll have to catch the replay. Thanks for dropping in, S-Beam.
Cool,
thanks, brother. Thanks for being here. Loving that people are dropping in from work. That's awesome. Don't get in trouble. But thanks for dropping in. Don't get you in trouble. But yeah, I really thought this was a good point, and I love this fight throughout the show. I wish I could have caught more clips. I did get one awesome shot that I thought was pretty cool of them fighting later on, which I'll bring up. But let's move to the next slide where we have them. So this is where I skipped ahead a little bit because I wanted more clips for the end, but this is where Reverend the army get to the base and he gives his speech. I thought it was a pretty cool speech. Good to see him speak up because they portrayed him as pretty quiet. And I think seeing him do a speech in front of people was good to see again. You know what I mean? Like he's taking charge, he's stepping up, and he realizes he has to address the people, because I don't think we've seen that much of him doing that in this series. He's all like when we met him at the start, he didn't want to talk to anybody, and now he's thrust into this journey where he's now having to basically take charge and lead all of these people to safety. What did you think about that? Do you have any thoughts on?
Yeah, so it's definitely him.
Brought him to that.
Yeah, so it's definitely him coming back to form as a leader and taking on the mantle. So they did that well. Yeah,
I thought it was well done. Yeah. It's put him in a position where he had to, and we hadn't seen that yet, where he had to lead a group of people. So I do quite enjoy the story, tropes of that. We've got KG in the house. What's up, KG? What's going on, brother? I hope you're ready for tomorrow, mate. We're going to tear it up tomorrow. You watch out. But that's not much else to do here. I do catch this clip of them literally of the shot hitting the wall, and it lit everything up. And I thought, oh, I wasn't going to use that, and I thought, okay, let's use this. Before we see them all fighting, the amount of people they have with them, that she has with them, I'm like, surely these guys like are dangerous. Like that's imposing. But when you see them fight, they're not that imposing. These guys are not that imposing.
Yeah, but I was so glad that they did, to be honest, because some of the series, like Boba Fett, but also Obi-Wan, it seemed like in some battles they just used not enough bodies. And in this battle they actually did, so I was really glad for that.
Yeah, they definitely brought a sea of people, a sea of troopers this time, which makes more sense. If you're going to and you wanted to overpower people, that's definitely what you would do. That was a nice shot, the sea of troopers. Yeah, there was a ton of them.
Yeah.
I just thought that was setting up this. It's like the stage. Like this whole episode was a siege. Sorry, not a stage, a siege. Like the last one was an escape. You know, like a what's the word? Heist. This one, heist, and this one's a siege. I like the different themes that you see come into the episodes.
Yeah.
And then we move ahead to here where he has the conversation. Now, okay, what are your thoughts on this, Anthony, in regards to where this comes back to play at the end of the episode? Do you think this was there to further that part of the story along? Because he starts off by saying, I know we're not supposed to communicate, but hey, I'm just communicating. Like,
this was really stupid. I was really annoyed by. Look, I can be annoyed by silly mistakes. This was really like a blatant, stupid mistake or thing to do when you're in like a resistance kind of party, because he's mentioning every single key word or critical word that the enemies can't know.
And let me just send it. Let me just send you this message that we agreed on before that we wouldn't do. Let me just, because I'm impatient.
Yeah.
I feel like this was thrown in there to set up the finale of
the
the show.
Of course. But it was so obvious that I was annoyed by that message. Yeah.
Because he's talking about the boy. I'll go to the boy. I'm like, come on, bro.
Let's go to Tatooine. Oh, so annoyed. If they would leave just a little puzzle for Reva, it would have been a bit cooler. Just because she had been a Padawan, so she would know what he was talking about. But everyone would have known what he's talking about this way. So it would have been cool if that was like a unique skill or knowledge on Reva's part.
Yeah, I feel you. Mojo's is saying this is where the dumb begins. Just kidding.
Yeah, but the cool part is Ewan McGregor stroking his beard like Alec Guinness did.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's the cool part.
I did like that. Moito is saying these are the dumb things that drag the show down for me. No way he mentions Tatooine or Luke. Yeah, it's not a smart move. Yeah. But I think sometimes I feel like those are written in for the casual fan to help them like, oh, this is what's happening now. Like, this is what's, it's almost dumbing it down in a way.
Yeah, but even for the casual fan, they could have made it like a little puzzle for Reva to solve.
Yeah, true. I mean, you could say that he's obviously not going to think that Obi's going to be, he trusts Obi and thinks that he's a great warrior. So I think he's probably thinking it's not going to get in anyone else's hands. You could go that route.
Would he though?
Yeah, I don't know. It's. I'm just trying to defend it here, guys. Bob Dylan. All Star Wars stories start and end on Tatooine.
I hate sand. It gets everywhere.
So yeah, this was a little bit of a scene. I only threw it in because I wanted to talk about why they threw it in.
Yeah.
Now we go from here. So we've jumped ahead a little bit to. I've missed the part of Leia trying to fix the doors. So her little robot goes in. I'm forgetting the name. Goes in and that's one of Lola. Sorry, wow, it's so close to Layla, and I keep forgetting Lola. What irked me a little bit about that was how you don't see Lola open the vent and it just magically closes behind it. I'm like, at least show the thing, use some little hands or mechanical things to open, like the vent, like what did it use to make the vent open and close so it could get in there? That annoyed me. I'm like, just show it drill its way through or something. I know it's going to cost more money to do that, but don't just have it magically open up and then close behind it so it can stop the doors from opening. That irked me. I will rant about that just a little bit. I'm like, come on. Yeah, come on. Doors just don't open for no reason. He's just stroking his beard is how he changes up his force powers.
Charges of his force powers. Yeah, it's a delta on the PlayStation controller.
He's charging up. So I skipped that scene because it annoyed me. So I ended up deleting it out.
Oh man, I wasn't even annoyed by that.
Like, why is it opening?
I'm loving this episode too much.
Well, then we get to your pose. Look at this, guys. Yeah. Anthony has the pose. Mawito is also saying, Lola used the force. It sure
force
did.
Push.
It sure did. Just casually. But this bit was sick. When she has the flashbacks, seeing him walk like that. Well, tell me, guys, how did you all feel about that? Let us know in the chat. Anthony, how did you feel? Obviously, you felt pretty damn good about it because you're recreating the pose right there, sir.
Yeah, it's like I said, this episode was really what I think most people would have wanted to see from Obi-Wan Kenobi series. There's flashbacks of Order 66. Hence the cap, Order 66.
Nice.
And also Obi-Wan Anakin lightsaber duel, Vader using his force power, seeing how powerful he is. It's everything we needed to see, I guess.
Yeah, that was really cool. And I like how they kind of shot some of the camera angles they used shooting up, like looking from Reva's perspective. I thought looked really good too, the way they did that.
Yeah.
It was just a well-made scene, and then having Obi have that conversation with her at the door. So this whole clip is I got one on either side. One where he uses the next clip is the one where he uses the force to knock her back. Yeah. But I did enjoy this scene. Did you feel rightly justified when we learned that you could see that Obi's obviously going to convince her to turn in a way? Now she turns in a way that I think was done well, as opposed to just becoming good. She still was willing to kill other people to get to her goal. Well, she still is. So I still like that they kept that in there and didn't make her go full good.
Yeah,
she's still done a lot of bad shit.
Yeah, it would have been too corny if she was actually going back to being to the light side or being a Jedi. Working together with Obi-Wan to get Vader's, I think, the best scenario, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so too, which will bring us to this clip here, where she cuts through the door. I really like that. And I like him using the force. Again, he's just so like, he's like the ultimate counterpuncher in a way. He's ready at a moment's notice to counterpunch and attack or whatever. So I really enjoyed that. I thought that was great. I thought that whole scene of them talking together, him figuring that out, was really cool. I think for her, just them talking about that, or her letting him talk to her about that while there's all these stormtroopers around, like, was a little strange for me that she wasn't like trying to shut him up. Obviously they're whispering to a degree, but if I were her, I'd be worried that he's going to spoil your plan. Yeah,
because the doors were was a bit of distance between the doors and the rest of the troopers, right? Because she was walking. She had to walk to it, right? And I think her talking to Leia, her talking to Obi-Wan, that's really the scenes Moses Ingram was cast for, because that's the scenes where she shines. The part after this was very cringe. That's not why she was cast.
Them walking through the sea and fighting with everybody. I'm just removing some of the slides.
Fighting Vader after. That was hard to watch.
Really? I was actually okay with that. I thought she did all right. I thought she did pretty good with that.
It was very poor, but Vader made everything up. So.
Yeah, which we're getting to, guys. We'll get there in just a sec. Those blast doors must be pretty damn hollow. Yeah, think about it. They're shooting the doors, and then she just pop. But she did cut the metal bit. I think she cut through the door. Oh, she still cut through the door. Yeah, these sabers can cut through metal doors, but people survive them, no problemo whatsoever. pretty damn hollow. Yes. So let's go to the next slide, which is.
By the way, I thought she more so cut through the controls than through the door, right?
I think it was through the part where they
lock is.
welded. Yeah, they welded a lock, so she cut through the lock.
Because I remember Qui-Gon Jinn having quite some time to cut through a door in, I think it was episode 1.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm just going to add some more slides while we to get for the rest of the show. Now, this scene here is that whole battle scene. What did you think of this whole fight scene, battle scene? Did you think they did this well? I don't think they did it personally. I'll just kick it off and then you can go.
Yeah.
I didn't think they did this bit as well as they executed the fight between him and Anakin. I think that was executed way better than this entire fight scene.
Yeah. So I think the people directing this or choreographing this really don't seem to understand battle that much. I mean, no one's going for cover. When people are shooting at you, no matter how bad they are, first of all, there should have been way more blaster fire in the scene. Second of all, people should at least go for cover and shoot from cover instead of just standing out in the open not getting shot. So that was a bit annoying.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, you hit the nail on the head there. You would like to see a little bit of like, hey, people are shooting at us. Let's take some cover because I don't want to die.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just going to stand here and shoot without any cover. It would be nice to see them put a little bit more effort into the directing of the fight scenes for sure. That
I would have even liked the Boba Fett spin in the in this scene. It would have fit a lot better.
Yeah.
And then like this scene, it would have made a lot more sense if Obi-Wan said just retreat through the caves, and Obi-Wan drawing the troopers into like a very close corridor, like funneling the troopers, so he could just deflect all the blaster bolts in just a very narrow space. That would have made a lot more sense, I think.
Yeah, I think this is a mistake that not just Star Wars, but lots of shows or lots of TV series makers that they want to add in action. They want to give fans action, but I think for me personally, and I seem like a lot of us, I think, would think that way, is I'd rather see more logical, even though it's not a logical thing. It's make believe. We're in space with freaking light up swords, deflecting
within
shots
the context of its own logic.
Yeah, within the context of its own logic. If people are shooting at you, maybe you would like to see. I would rather see them run and do what you just said than stand there and have a shootout scene for the sake of a shootout scene. I think sometimes TV series or movies force too much action because a lot of normal film audience, that's what they want to see. They're not thinking about logic or reason behind things, you know, in which I do let a lot of that go, but sometimes you're like, come on, you know.
Yeah, but it would have been so easy to fix, and this could have been like an epic, like the movie 300, a 300 scene.
Yeah, funneling, and that would be sick. Actually, stop it. Stop giving us extra things to think about. Shane saying, Qui-Gon cut the blast doors open in episode 1. This is the way it should be, not slicing through stormtroopers is the issue for me. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it should be. Okay, you're right, Shane. It should be they're that strong and they cut through the doors. I think it's when they're not shown as strong. I think, again, it's because it's Disney, right? You realistically, I feel like if this was done with a higher rating, you could, all the lightsaber stuff, you'd have them slicing in half. I think that's restrictions that they have, some type of restrictions they have with how much body count they can show on a Disney Plus show.
Yeah, I think the restriction is blood only. I don't think the restriction is cutting through people because, like Samuel L. Jackson beheading Jango Fett, and Vader was just snapping necks left and right in previous episodes.
Yeah.
So I think the rating. I think the only restriction is blood. So they could have chopped off a few legs and arms.
Yeah, it'd be nice, but maybe they have like a certain level of body count that you can do. Maybe if who knows? There could be a thing if you're killing this many people, don't show too much of, don't have. I mean, if they showed all of everybody getting cut in half of who he took out, that's a lot of bodies. It's a lot of bodies get cut up. Maybe Disney be like, no, that's a bit too much. You
It
know,
knows
one
the
here or
bodies.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mawitzo saying, again, a lot of the action stuff in the series hasn't worked for me. Not sure
Mm.
if it's limitation of the volume that they use, but it looks cheap or something.
Yeah, it does. That's why I said I was really glad that they actually used like a larger volume of stormtroopers. I even didn't expect that. And then just a
Yeah.
handful of resistance people just stand there out in the open, shoot people, and then get away scotch-free.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was well thought out, I think.
Yeah. Anthony saying, Shane saying a stormtrooper was cut in half by a laser
True.
gate. Yeah, I
Yeah.
get that, Shane. What I'm thinking is, I think though, like if like in this scene, right, if we had seen limbs come off everybody, let's say he went through 10, 12 people, maybe they're not going to let them show 10, 12 people getting cut up in half. You know, maybe they're like, okay, you could do this scene because that's a cool scene in that show. That one guy falls through the gate. That makes sense. My understanding would be anybody getting hit with a lightsaber should be cut in half. You should see that if you were going off what they would show. Like if you're seeing
Kind of
them get
depends on the
struck
armor, I
down
think.
by it.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about the stormtrooper armor? Is that like strong, or is that meant to be strong? Because it doesn't appear to be
Really
very
don't know,
strong.
but I've never seen a stormtrooper being cut through the armor with a lightsaber, I think. But the weird thing is that when people deflect blaster fire, sometimes stormtroopers get hit, which is kind of weird.
Yeah.
I don't
He's
know what's
reflecting
based
it back at them. Yeah. This one here, this red shot is actually, I just caught the shot hitting the thing. Look, I can move past it. I love the episode, love the show. But I think it's fun to talk sometimes about like what are they doing when it comes to that. Often they're saying it's showing yet again that the script needed a couple more drafts. Although this one is probably one of the stronger. Yeah, I thought it was a great episode. Often, sorry,
It was not a
stronger
script
drafts
issue
probably
because the script was written by Andrew Stanton this time, and I think you can kind of notice it because he's writing the last two episodes, and he's a pretty good writer. And the other episodes were written by the Joby, what's his name, and I think they were poorly written, but I think this episode was well written. But usually a script just says stormtroopers attack, Obi-Wan defense, and people shoot. That's how a script looks.
Yeah.
So it's more directing or combat choreography than anything, I think. Yeah.
Or sometimes editing, guys. Editing plays a massive part, and sometimes there's lots of things cut. Like we just watched Endgame again the other day for like the 1,000th time, and we went through the deleted scenes just because I couldn't remember watching them for a while.
Yeah.
And you see how many things are cut out story wise, or how things are done differently, and there's so many scenes in that were completely different. And editing plays a big part. So sometimes, they might have choreographed it, right? That's again with shows like, that's why I'm forgiving with stuff like this. I just want fun. The only reason I think about these things a bit more is because I rewatch it to try to figure out like things to talk about. And there's sometimes the things that we notice. So editing could have played a massive part, I think, with some of these.
Yeah, but still, people just standing out in the open shooting a couple of things. That's not
choreography wise,
yeah, and they could have edited way more blaster fire, and that's true. But you're standing there without cover makes no sense.
Yeah, and often just addressing what happened in the last episode. Anthony's favorite moment of last episode. Stormtrooper got knocked out by Tala. Hey, look, Tala's a baller. Tala's a baller. Don't mess with her, man. She's a soldier, which I'll show you in the next slide. I meant as a whole. Yeah, okay, I get you. Often, so he's referring back to stronger than the other apps. Yeah. Focus. I'm nitpicking. I like the show. Good Star Wars content, much better than Boba Fett. Up there with Mando, but not quite as good. Good. I like it better than Boba. The Mando episode in Boba, I've rewatched that episode more than anything, just because I actually love that episode with Mando. Was just amazing. Actually, the two episodes with Luke as well, I thought were just fantastic episodes. Fun, just well made, great storytelling.
To be honest, I really loved this episode. Apart from combat choreography, Moses Ingram's non-physicality, I really loved this episode. If I could give like a 5.1 out of 5, I would, I guess.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, it's a great episode, and we are, and Shane, we are just nitpicking here. Like,
Yeah.
it was a great story from beginning to end with this episode. I really did love it. Agreed, definitely better than Boba. Yeah, definitely better than Boba. All right, let's go to the soldier herself, Tyler. I didn't fit the picture in, but this is when she sacrifices herself. How are you feeling? Did we do we get to know her enough to be upset about her taking the fall? Me
I would have
personally,
loved. I would have loved to see her a bit longer, to be honest, and I would have loved to see the droid a bit longer. I was really
yeah,
curious about the droid after last time. I was
yeah,
speculating that it was a dude inside of because he's behaving like someone inside
yeah.
of the suit.
Maybe it was just a dude in an outfit, but like for the show, it's a droid.
Definitely,
But
this was a
for the,
dude in the
it was
suit, but
yeah,
maybe for the show, it wasn't.
yeah. It was sad to see her go. I think her moments with Obi and the moment that she had with him back after he got the message from Ortega, I thought was really good. And I would have included a clip on that to talk about that conversation because I feel like that kind of led to her sacrificing herself. That conversation, and that's my bad for not including that picture, but that conversation with her and Obi in the cave after he got the message,
Yeah,
I feel like was set this up nicely to show that she has regret for what she did when she was part of the other side, and this is her making that sacrifice when she knew she'd been shot. I thought that was a good little tie-in, but just as from a fan perspective, I would have loved to see her build more of a relationship with Obi and be. I was okay with that. Like I quite
yeah.
like her. She's a strong
I like her
character.
as an actor. Yeah,
Um,
yeah, definitely.
yeah, I think she was a strong character. So to see her bite the bullet, it fueled the story along nicely. Oh, did it really though? Her taking the fall, it
No,
gave
it didn't.
it
Really
gave
didn't.
that moment. No, it gave their moment of talking more. But yeah, I feel like they could have built maybe more of a relationship if she was
Yeah,
going to die eventually. But yeah, sad to
I
see
would
her
have.
go. She was quite good.
Yeah, I would have loved her to survive and just have scenes with Kingo. I would have loved more explanation about the droid because he was
Yeah,
not behaving like a loader droid, and I wanted to know why.
yeah,
And also, I was so annoyed by that siege scene that I was thinking, so either they all need to be shot or no one needs to be shot. Um,
yeah,
so she really didn't have to die for me.
yeah. Yeah, I would have liked to see her more.
Yeah.
And DS icons, John, you liked all the episodes not involving Boba. Okay. I liked episode 6 because Mando and Boba fight together, and I liked it for that. And episode 2, I actually really loved when he gets his staff. That made me want that the 2-pack even more.
Yeah.
The Hot Toys 2-pack of him with the staff because I really loved that story of him building the staff and there's a lot. I still like Boba. I'm a pretty easy fan to please. I'm not normally too picky. Who knows if we were doing the rundown back then how I would have thought about it, but back then I was enjoying it. See a Dream is saying that was an intense scene, including the droid. Yeah, it was sad to see him go. And Moitzo for the win. Scotty blew up. No. But back
Yeah,
to
but
yeah,
Moitzer doesn't know.
that was sad to
It's
see him
actually
go.
the black stormtrooper is Scotty, I think.
Yeah. Scotty finally bit the bullet.
Scotty,
That's a classic. That's a classic.
Justice for
Okay.
Scotty.
Me and Anthony, okay, guys, sidetrack here. Me and Anthony have been talking about doing an intro for the show, like a proper intro where we include some messages in the chat as part of the intro.
Yeah, this one needs to be in it.
That one is going in there.
No.
We're gonna put that in the intro, and we'll put other ones about Scotty, and the whole intro to this show for the rundown will be.
Scotty got blew up.
Be
You know
Scotty
what we need to do? We need to do for every show or movie we see. We need to identify Scotty in them.
That would be a fun thing. Where's Scotty? Because he's out there in the multiverse.
Like Noob Master 66 or Noob Master 69. It's actually Scotty.
So that was classic. Love it. Often Studios are saying, I think Kumail would have made better sense to sacrifice them. Than Tyler.
Yeah.
Well, but see, I also want to see him more in the show.
True.
And he wasn't out there with them, right? He was back with the ship because he was keeping an eye on Leia.
Yeah, but I think he's saying arc-wise. because he was he had like a Tony Stark arc, for egotistical and a con artist at first, and then sacrificing himself. That would have made a better character arc.
Yeah. Now that you say he had the Tony Stark esque, I think all my favorite characters are like that arrogant, happy-go-lucky, almost bag. Like Tony Stark's one of my favorite characters of all time, and then I'm like, hey, that's maybe why I like this guy too. And often saying yes, precisely. Yeah. So sad to see Tyler go. She was a baller, but I would have loved to see her build more of a relationship, especially if the show is going to continue on. It was almost too soon.
Let's see more of those Stockton slaps. Just slapping troopers left and
right. And then we come to when Obi sacrifices himself to get caught. I really enjoyed this with the storytelling of showing the flashbacks, because the next scene I have is another flashback scene of him realizing what he needs to do, knowing how Anakin would be. What did you think of this, Anthony?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why that's why I love this episode, because the saber fight is really a parallel process of everything that's going on in the here and now. It's very cool to see, but it also has the message that Anakin is only going for the offense, and that he's blinded by his win, and that's when he leaves openings.
Yes.
So it kind of preludes that. That was really cool to see.
It was, I think, done perfectly in that sense of telling that part of the story, that also showing, this fight is done mentally, whereas the first fight was done physically. So you've got the two fights. You've got the physical fight that we're seeing in the flashback, and then you've got the mental fight that is going on, and the strategic thinking between the two. Well, not really so strategic on Vader's behalf, more strategic thinking on Anakin's behalf. And I think that's shows that he is still, right now, he is still his master in a way. He's not, you're not better than me yet, because I can still. And when he says that line, there's more than what, when he hands all his weapons over to him, and he says, "Oh, you're going in there with no weapons?" And he's like, "There's more than one way to win a fight." I love that. I love that scene. He knew what he was going to do. He was going to plead to Reva. I thought that was really well done and really good storytelling by them on that. The show could be called Seeking Scotty. That's him there in the Stormtrooper. He switched out.
Yeah, he had like this game when I was younger. Where the heck is Carmen Santiago, I think?
Oh, really?
And this is the same thing. Where the heck is Scotty?
But yeah, what did you think about this? So this bit here, when they're whispering, if I were her, I would have been a little worried about him blowing her cover in a way, or blowing her intentions in front of all the damn stormtroopers that are still standing there.
Yeah, because they aren't the brightest bunch, are they?
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be that worried. It didn't bother me at all.
Yeah, I know that they're whispering, and that's kind of how I took it, is they're whispering, and we have to hear it louder because we're the audience. So that's maybe how I'm seeing it. But I thought that was cool, and it was more going back to this flashback when they were battling again. I loved this scene, and the damn picture got cropped, but I loved the stances that they were both in on this scene. Like
such poses.
Such poses. This is straight up poses. I'm like, these are poses I would try. Now, I don't have these figures. Can they do this pose? This Anakin, do you think he could do that down on one knee?
I didn't get the Obi-Wan because I loved the prototype, and I kind of hated how it actually came out, and it was especially the facial hair that didn't sit right for me, the color and the way it did. So I was really waiting for a Clone Wars Obi-Wan. The Anakin one, yeah, he can do it. Wait, no, not the front leg though, but he can kind of fake it.
He could fake it. Because I'm telling you now, guys, this in a display. Now, focus. If you're still here, brother, if you've got these figures, wouldn't it be cool in a DTOF? One in a, because I know you like to have one figure in a DTOF, one in a, two DTOFs next to each other, one in that way facing, and the other one in that way facing at the top of a DTOF. If someone's got both these figures, I would love to see that pose. Because for me, like, I've been going down the rabbit hole of display options, as I always do with figures. But I think in two DTOFs, it would look amazing, both these poses, if you could pull it off. Because they're like, I feel like that these two poses with these older figures would be a set and leave it. Because I just feel like that moment of them staring into each other like that in the battle in a duel would look sick on the shelf.
Yeah, and
anyway.
I would even love the picture you did before, because it more clearly shows Anakin's Form 5 and Obi-Wan's Form 3. So it more differentiates that, and more than this, to be honest.
Yeah.
And it's easier to do.
Yeah, he says that would be very clever. Don't you think? Like 2 DTOFs next to each other, one on each side, posed up like that. Maybe have some.
Yeah, that's like Adam Pagels-esque.
Yeah, Adam Pagels-esque for sure. He does that stuff. I think that would look sick. Anyway, if someone's out there, I'd love to see someone try it and tag me if you do. Okay, the next slide. Actually, before we move to the next slide, any more you want to add about this part of the battle? Because in this part of the battle, he's Anakin's starting to overcome him. Because I didn't keep that clip. So from here, he overcomes him, knocks his lightsaber away, thinks he's got the win. Again, the arrogance coming through, which I think they showed really well.
Yeah.
And then moves on to him again, defeating him without a weapon, which again ties into how he defeats him here without a weapon. I thought that was very cool.
Yeah, that was very well done. I was loving this, man. I was really eating up.
Yeah, we were really excited about it when we were watching it. I think it was a great way for them to do it. Yeah. But the next scene, in all his rage.
Oh, yeah. This was awesome.
Go. What do you think about this whole scene? Yeah, everybody in the chat as well. Let us know. What were you thinking when this scene came on?
I remember when we were you were trying to set up the rundown. I was thinking what I would like to see in it. I was thinking about most series are annoying when they aren't consistent. When they aren't consistent in motivation, when they aren't consistent in character, but also in power levels. And it's really cool to see that they established Vader's power level in this. Because mind you, he's still adjusting to the suit 10 years after Mustafar. So he really lost a lot of his power. He's at max. Vader could only be at 40% that Anakin would have been at his max, but still he's this powerful. So I love CGI. Yeah, so the CGI ripping the ship apart wasn't that great, but I still loved it, so I didn't mind. I was loving this.
Yeah, I didn't even notice the CGI, to be honest. I was just in the zone on this one when he was doing this. I was like, holy shit. Yeah, I was like, holy shit, that's epic. Second time watching it, I noticed the second ship down there on the bottom that I didn't notice the first time.
Yeah, I didn't even. Yeah.
Yeah, it's literally just hiding there. Often they're saying even better. And again, him beating him mentally. He's still too smart for him.
Yeah.
Often saying, you think we'll get a Jesus Obi-Wan as a figure now? We may very well get a.
Do you mean Jesus Obi-Wan or Trailer Park Obi-Wan? That was a good one.
Trailer Park one. We'll go the Trailer Park one. By the way, Shane with the super chat.
I didn't think
Anthony,
about it.
Leave the logic
poor guy,
to this
the poor
part
guy
out
that
of
sacrificed to fly the ship. You can do it.
Maybe Lola got in there. I don't know.
You can make it.
Shane with the super chat, 16 focus. Thanks so much, mate. We appreciate it. If anyone out there didn't enjoy Vader dragging down and tearing apart the space cruiser, you expect too much from Star Wars and from life. I completely agree.
Yeah, I think this is exactly what people expected, to be honest. Maybe not expected after the first 4 episodes, but really wanted.
Yeah, it was. I think that was enough. This was, in fact, one of the best. This reminded me of Rogue One. Really, like having him do scenes like this where you just see him unleash fury. I'd love to see him like he saw Shang-Chi. In 10 Rings, when you see the dad just lay the smack down at the start, when you see him kick ass. I'd love to see Vader do that with a sea of people and just like absolutely destroy him. This was just epic. And when they were making it, there must have been. I would have loved to have been the CGI guy doing this. How excited he would have been playing around with that. That would have been.
You're right. So... I think it would be cool to see a Rogue One-esque or more of this. And I think what we're still missing is the relationship between Vader and the Inquisitors, because he really hated them, thinking he was going to be replaced by them. So I would have loved like a training scene with all the Inquisitors and Vader just ripping them apart like flies.
That would be sick. He can
Yeah.
clearly do it, considering. I mean, just seeing this scene alone, seeing that power level, I didn't know he was that strong.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not this strong, Jesus. And to think that that's only at what 40%, that's
Well,
unbelievable.
it's 40% of what Anakin would have been, but it's like 80% of the. His max is 80% of the Emperor at his max.
That is
It's
crazy.
not to say where he is at the moment, of course, because it just is 10 years after getting the suit.
Yeah, I think though. Do you think he's very rageful still though? So do you think that'll amplify the power level? Because he's
Yeah,
so
because the dark side, right?
yeah,
Because he
he's
really
so
needs the
angry.
rage to be.
Yeah,
He needs to harness that rage.
yeah. I loved it. Absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
Thanks again, Shane, for that too. And spot on with that. Everybody should have loved that scene. Often
Yeah.
Studio says that was the best part.
Yeah.
See a Dream chiming in saying that was a smart move, referencing back Obi-Wan teaching moment to Darth Vader, hence
Yeah,
flashback
it was
Anakin.
really
Yeah,
well done.
really well
And
done how they did
it's
that.
like Andrew Stanton didn't do any big movies, big action movies. He's mainly like a Pixar movie or animated writer, but he's written this episode really well. That if they actually do what Ewan McGregor said and they actually do a second season, I would have loved him to write the second season.
Mm. And you never know. Like he could be in talks. I'd be sick if he did.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see how we feel about it after next week's episode.
Yeah.
Often Studios, we probably will see that in Andor.
Andor,
That
yeah.
is a show I'm looking forward to. I really like the lead actor from that show. I've seen him in a few things, and I think he's really good. And he was great in Rogue One.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to that show. And hopefully we'll do that show too. Often Studios, Vader showing off like Toguro 40%. I don't know who Toguro is, but 40%. Let us know because I have no idea. First Lakagi, in the comics, Vader shows some great displays of power. Seeing this was pretty cool though. It was.
Yeah.
It was really cool. And I would have included every scene of him ripping the ship apart, but for the sake of time, I wanted to go.
This is such stark contrast to him not whisking away the fire to get Obi-Wan, or force choking him just right through the fire, or just walking through the fire. This was Vader done well.
I think that's a problem that some shows have when in movies, I guess, when the characters are too powerful in a way. It's almost like with Superman. It's hard to make a good Superman film because he's so damn powerful, right? You need really good forces of to challenge him and make him an underdog in a sense, because people love to see the good guy come back and win. But Vader's just so damn powerful. The show could have been over in that episode because he could have just ripped everybody apart and then the show's done, and then we would have been upset about that. So I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Now I'm okay with it now. It just would have been nicer if that's why they got away in that last episode, because he wanted them to. I may be biased because I'm a Vader fan. Yeah, I know. I think.
And why wouldn't you be a Vader fan?
Yeah, I think we're all Vader fans. But let's get on to this part because we're an hour in and we've still got Miss Marvel. I'm mindful of everybody's time. This fight now. I'll start off, Anthony, because I enjoyed her. I enjoyed this fight scene. I thought she did well. I'd love to know what you guys in the chat think. I thought she did pretty well in this fight. There's a moment on the ground when she's spinning around, and I thought that was pretty well done. They don't do any favors with the how they were filming some of it. They did less cuts than I thought. And I like less cuts. I like seeing the actors do this stuff rather than the camera cutting all the time. But I thought she did well. I'm going to show her love on this. I thought she was, I liked the rage. I liked that she went for it. And it's good to see Vader just got schooled by Obi again. And then you see the power scale. Now he schools her. Like he just got schooled, but he still schools her. No problemo whatsoever.
Yeah. So
Anthony, what are your thoughts?
I loved this scene just because I was watching Vader and he was mopping the floor with her. It was funny that you're talking about the spin on the floor, but that was cringy as hell for me.
Was it? Oh no, I quite liked it.
No sense. Literally no sense. And so that was really stupid. But just Vader showing off was really cool for me. So that made it okay.
Yeah, I got another clip here.
And also the spinning lightsaber made it okay.
Actually, we'll come back to that. Yeah, There's a scene that I wanted to get a photo of when he summons where he uses the Force to grab the lightsabers.
Yeah.
When he splits her thing, that was so cool. He just literally schooled her.
I literally loved him getting 2 sabers, just like Anakin did when he was fighting Dooku. Kind of thinking he would chop his head off, her head off, but then he stabbed her like he did before.
Yeah,
that looked cool.
I thought it was very cool. Often Studios is saying Vader was mad disrespectful to her. Love it. She wasn't even worth using his own lightsaber.
Yeah, that was awesome. That was really awesome.
That was
he could have just taken out a trooper helmet and just thrown it at
her. Again, I like this because Vader. Yeah. But that's okay. I liked that she still went for it. She's arrogant enough to think that she can take him out. Pardon me, and then Dooku her.
Dooku it.
Yeah.
Dooku.
When he when he got those sabers, and oh man, it was just so cool seeing her realize that she stood absolutely no chance against this guy. Which leads to this, obviously.
Yeah, so that's why it makes sense that they didn't show Vader training with the Inquisitors or just mopping the floor with them, because it would have made no sense for her to try it even at this point. That's why it makes sense, but I still would have loved seeing Vader taking them all out at once.
Yeah. You never know. We may still see something.
Maybe.
Which will lead to Season 2. Now, we see him take that out. I thought she was dead, to be fair. The fact that she lived. I want to know what you guys think about her living on from this, though. Are we happy? Do we want to see more of her? Did you expect her to die? I'd love to know your thoughts on that, because when this gangster comes back in, I took this shot because I'm like, that camera angle was like 2 gangsters just standing there. Like, we fooled you. I keep thinking that he's like, I took a lightsaber for this. Like, for your master, almost like Vader. I took a freaking lightsaber. You knew she was trying to come for you.
Her living after that.
So him having that speech, we're going to leave you in the gutter. Do you think that was them thinking that she's going to die, that she's going to bleed out or whatever, and they're just making her suffer?
So, but was it confirmed that she's alive still?
Well, you don't see her die. You see her grab the communications that.
True. Yeah, of course. She'll live.
Yeah, what's his name left? Yeah. So I think that she's gonna be the one that goes to Tatooine. But why? Probably. Is my thought. That's how it's setting it up, right? It's setting it up that she's going to go to Tatooine after Luke because she's seen the message. And then you see Obi on the ship thinking about something's not right, or you can tell he's thinking that something's not right.
Feeling he's Luke's in trouble. Yeah, I kind of I liked the fact that the Grand Inquisitor was alive. This shot was a bit weird to me because he doesn't even stroke the beard first. Yeah, this shot was a bit weird to me because they seem like bros over here, Vader and Grand Inquisitor. But Vader despises the Grand Inquisitor, as he does every Inquisitor, but the Grand Inquisitor even more, I think. So them being chubby like this didn't sit well. I would have loved the Grand Inquisitor just talking to Reva, and maybe Vader in the back, or I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, Vader doesn't say anything with him there, though, right? So
true, but they seem like they're partners in crime.
Yeah. Again, he's probably just using him for his own, while he can, for his own gain, right?
No, he has to cope. He has to cope because the Emperor wants them there.
Yeah. Sea Dream saying it was a lost battle coming, but she definitely had no fear. You can her rage for what had been done to her friends. You could feel her rage, I think is what you're saying. Yeah, for sure. But I thought that would have been natural end for her story here to die.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I would have been okay with her dying.
Me too.
And it also just shows that, that he's still a badass.
Yeah.
He doesn't even stroke his beard first. I think that's when Obi was thinking that there's a problem coming. We'd say she should have looked down and spat. Not again. Spaceballs reference.
Use the shorts.
Survived Anakin twice. Yeah, she's a survivor. She survived
Yeah.
him twice. When you
The
think
girl
about
who
that.
lived.
Yeah. And Shane saying he should have finished her off makes no sense for him and very out of character to not
Yeah.
finish her. Yeah. You would think he just ripped a ship apart. What is her to him for him to let her live? I feel like that's a way of them going, we're probably going to use her in another show or give her her own show or whatever. So we need her to survive.
Yeah, but she's getting her own show, right?
I think so. Is anybody in the chat? Can anyone in chat confirm that? I think she's getting her own show.
I think I've seen like a. Yeah, I think I've seen something like that.
Yeah. So obviously she won't die unless they do. She's too young. But yeah, bit out of character. And did that upset you? Did that upset you guys in the chat that he didn't kill her, or are you going to be okay with it and move forward? Poor Qui-Gon. So often studio saying poor Qui-Gon had a similar injury and dead. Yeah.
If only he had gotten cybernetics, then Anakin wouldn't have been Vader. He would have just been Anakin.
Yeah. And now if Shane's theory is right that she does have the cybernetics, which I will go back and check, that scene, Shane, is that makes sense. But the part that is a bit off is that he wouldn't finish the job. Or is it'd take him 2 seconds to snap a neck. You know what I mean? Now, is a question I want to ask because I don't know about the use of the Force, right? When the second ship takes off, could he have not just pulled that one down, or would he have drained his energy doing the other one? Is that?
Yeah, I think he was just busy with one. The other ship was too fast, I think, and because it was a smaller ship, and when you're focused on, because they explain it like he's focused on something, and that's when he leaves holes. I was kind of thinking about finishing off like lieutenants, and then I was harkening back to Megatron never finishing off Starscream. Well, Galvatron did, but Megatron never finishing off Starscream, even though Starscream was like defying him like every episode in Transformers.
Yeah,
it's kind of the same thing, but it's not but it's really out of character for Vader, of course.
Yeah. I can run with the theory of they just want to let her suffer as punishment, thinking that she's going to die. You know, that's not a big stretch, because that's almost more sadistic, letting someone die. So she went
to saying, yeah. Let's want some more serious 20 years later, yeah.
Often studios, I can see them justifying it with Vader thinks she's inconsequential to him and he doesn't care if she lives or not. There's that as well. Yeah, there's that as well. But that brings us to our last slide, which I just thought I'd finish on Luke because that's obviously where the finale is going. Now, predictions. Should we do a little predictions of where we think the finale is going to go? Do we think it's going to go Reva's going to come after Luke because she finds the message and that's that set up that? I feel like that this is where I feel like Ortega sending him the message led to him giving all his stuff to Kingo and then him dropping it for her to find to set up the finale. I think that's the beats of the story.
I really hope they don't go the route of her protecting Luke in the end.
Do you think so? I don't think. Surely they're not going to do that.
I really hope she's just going for Luke, feeling that Obi-Wan betrayed her, thinking that Obi-Wan would fight Vader with her, and then wanting revenge for just to kill Obi-Wan, and then trying to get to Luke. So I really hope she's going to be the second evil trying to get out from there.
Yeah,
I hope so.
What do you guys in the chat think of that? Because hang on, we've got a few more messages. Let's go back to Shane. Got a split. Enjoyed the conversation. Hit the like button, people. Thanks for your focus. Thanks, Shane. Yeah, thanks for dropping in, bruv. Don't be a stranger. Often studios, but they managed to fix Maul, who had worse injury. Muito. And then Muito's having a good old laugh at that. Makes sense. I think they're going to redeem. Often is saying, I think they're going to redeem Reva next episode.
I'm afraid they will, but I really don't want to.
Yeah. I really don't want if she's going to have her own show, though, it kind of makes sense that they're going to redeem her, right? Moitzo is also saying, really feel like the finale needs to be 90 minutes unless they are really doing a second season. Yeah, and I don't know the runtime. I haven't looked at the runtime.
No, me neither.
But it would be.
But you said, right, I hope you like episode 5, 6, and 7, and 8, and 9, and 10. So
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he said that at Celebrations.
yeah.
So that brings us to our ratings as well, if I can. So we're going with our for Obi-Wan, we go with our lightsabers 1 to 3. 1 lightsaber is terrible, 2 lightsabers is good, 3 lightsabers is great. I'm definitely going a 3 for this one for me. 3 sabers.
4 out of 3.
For action, even with little story hiccups and action sequences, the story overall, the message they're getting across, I'm in for the ride. I want to see what happens. I will say that they kind of dipped away from. Sorry.
No, I mean the parallels between the Revenge of Reva, her dying twice, and also the parallels of the fight of Anakin and Obi-Wan, and Obi-Wan and Vader at the moment, just seeing them just using the powers and the lightsaber duels, and it was awesome.
It was awesome. Yeah. It was awesome. So we're both giving it 3. We've got Tom is coming in. Tom Fleury is coming with 3 lightsabers for me. Nice. C. James going with 2.5 sabers. Ooh, nice. Okay. 2.5. I like it. Moitzo 2.25 sabers for me. Nice. And Often Studios is 2.5 lightsabers for me.
Yeah.
DS is going 2. Nice. So above all,
DS was out. He was out of Obi-Wan, to be honest. So
he's back in, baby. He's back in. He's back in.
Lord back in.
You're so close now, DS. You got to wait to the end. You got to see it through now, mate. You got to see the end come in. Now, okay, that's it for this episode of Obi-Wan. For those who haven't seen Miss Marvel and don't want to get it spoiled, I suggest you step out now. We've only got about 12 to 13 clips for Miss Marvel. We'll try to keep it maybe as condensed as we can. Because I'm mindful of everybody's time and I don't want to drag it out forever. And Anthony also needs to get sleep because it's super early in the morning for him. I'm just adding in a couple of slides now. Do you want to give your overall thoughts, though, on... oh, wait, we've still got a review here. 2 sabers for Lukagi, for me due to lack of Qui-Gon.
We still need the training that Yoda teased us with, because Yoda said we still need you to have some training with Qui-Gon.
I bet you he will come in at the end of the next episode. Qui-Gon will make an appearance. The end of next episode would be very cool to see. Maybe that's the next part of Obi-Wan, like where the story will go. He'll go and connect with Qui-Gon and get his shit together.
Yeah.
Maybe. Get his shit together. To whatever will lead to whatever season 2 will be, if that's the case. Right, so I'm going to remove that one. Now, we've got Miss Marvel, episode 2. Anthony, what were your initial thoughts of the episode? How are you feeling? We'll go to initial thoughts for Miss Marvel.
Okay, so, I've seen Obi-Wan first, Miss Marvel second. And I was still reveling at Obi-Wan. So I only watched.
And it's hard when it's on the same day, isn't it? It's hard when it's on the same day.
It is, man. And before it was really easy because I didn't like the Obi-Wan episode, and Miss Marvel was like a bundle of joy just hitting Disney Plus. And I still like Miss Marvel. It's interesting. I think it's interesting that they introduced like a new villain. So I'm really trying. I'm curious to see where they're going. I just really love it.
Yeah. Now you say villain. You're gonna need to elaborate on there for me. Who the villain?
Yeah. So Kamran is usually like an inhuman, just like Kamala Khan is. So him and his mom will usually try to do something to Miss Marvel. So she doesn't know it yet, of course. I really think he's like fiending for the bracelet.
He wants the bracelet.
I don't think he has powers yet, but I don't know. But I think his mom wants him to get powers through the bracelet, and then he'll become the second evil or something. I don't know how they're
Okay.
going to go in the series.
All right. Well, let's touch on that. Now we've got a few more peeps back in here for Miss Marvel. I'll just catch up on the last couple of comments for Obi. Mawitsu said, I think the finale is going to dictate how people feel about the series overall. I think it will have the opportunity to sway people either here or there. I still feel like they've stuck it pretty well for Obi-Wan, and I've come away enjoying the show and
I
will
think it's
probably
going to be,
rewatch it again.
yeah, I think it's going to be as good as episode 5, and then leave a trailer or like a cliffhanger for a second season again.
Yeah.
4 sables out of 3. Yeah, definitely.
For Bob, yeah. Bob gave it 4. Nice, Bob. I like it. And DS says, I was out, then I kept hearing the critics say best episode yet. Yeah. They pull you back in with that, don't you? They pull you back in. Now you got to see it through.
It's just like with Boba, with them putting Mando in.
Yeah. Oh, man. Mojo78, Miss Marvel, love heart, love it.
Yeah.
Renz Tolentino, sorry, in the house. Good morning, Renz. Thanks for being here, brother. Often Studios, bundle of joys, perfect description for Miss Marvel. It is. And the start of the episode when she comes dancing into school, I thought was hilarious. The confidence that she has was just, again, with their writing, right? From the first episode, she's not as confident walking through the halls. And then even in the next episode, she's got these powers. She's coming through. Sorry, Sia. Yes, I didn't get to see it. I'll watch the replay. Catch you guys later. All right, mate. See you, Sia. Thanks for being here, mate. But yeah, the start of the episode I thought was another great way to kick it off. The happy vibes. You're getting to see more of her with her friends, which I'm actually really enjoying. I'm loving the world they've created already. Her family, her connections, her friends, the school, the teacher, even down to some teachers. Like they've brought in and introduced all these characters, and it feels like we've been with them for ages already, and it's only in the second episode. That's the feeling that I get.
It feels very contemporary. So even though they're younger than us, obviously, most of us, I think, it's still like set so close to this era that it really feels like we can relate. So that's what I think this brings to the Marvel universe, and artistically, it's so lush.
Yeah. Lush and colorful, daydreaming, like all the visuals. There's a lot of thought and effort have gone into how they're communicating, how she sees the world.
Yeah,
and this is
it's like Marvel meets Ally McBeal. I don't know if you've ever seen Ally McBeal when you were younger.
I have. I used to watch that when I was younger.
Yeah.
It literally is like that, and I love that they're doing it. Like, again, this is why I love Marvel so much. They're not scared to do different things. They do different themes, different stories, different ways of bringing characters across. And this is its own contained thing, yet still connecting to the overall world with all the things that are thrown in. She's living in this world that we've seen been built. You know what I mean? We're seeing it through a young teenager's eyes. I mean, this is probably the same age of KG and Riley, to be fair. This is probably their jam. They're in school still, so this is probably more their thing. I'm pretty sure.
I think these are supposed to be a bit younger, but okay.
A little bit younger. I'm just teasing. And often is saying playing Mace as an instant W in my book. Tom is saying, I thought it was a very good episode and I really didn't know how I like it, but it definitely a great show in my opinion. Anyway, it's a great fun show. I look forward to it now each week. I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes and how they build her character up. Muto saying, Miss Marvel was my first intro into the character and it's been a solid enough so far, which is high praise as I didn't like the trailers. Wow. Yeah, cool. See, I didn't know anything about the character either. So for me, I'm just taking it for what it is. And I'm loving just the way they're delivering it. The story, the filming, everything about how it's produced feels high quality for me. And then you get the warmth of they've cast her family well. They've cast her friends well. They all seem to gel. And I think they're doing a really good job. Lukagi saying, I'm really liking the creativity and the editing for Miss Marvel. Yes. And that I'm a very visual person. So seeing all that is a big thing for me. It shows that a lot of thought has gone into how they're showing you visually the story.
And when we're talking about this, weirdly, I remember us talking about Top Gun. Because Top Gun, like I said, it really didn't try to do much, but what it did really well. And Miss Marvel is, it tries to do a lot of things, and it works. All of the things they try work, I think, because it like addresses the difficulty of the second generation Indian people, or second generation we culture in an I culture or me culture country, and it addresses it really well. It also creates a lot of sympathy for the first generation or the more orthodox generation, like her brother, but also her parents. So they really create orthodox people you really like. It also portrays very well the struggle the parents have to try to understand the second generation, because you really see that the parents are trying to do their best, but they just don't get it. So that's what they really, and then they add this layer of creativity and bubbles and fun and joy, and everything just hits.
It's just hitting. It's definitely even his story arc so far. The best friend, his story arc. You can see that he's got feelings for her. He's got this great opportunity. I've got a clip for that. One of the clips that I did get. And often's just asking Anthony, please don't do too deep into the comics. I don't know about Cameron. Yeah, I don't either. So I have no idea. I just I thought actually that they might be on her side, but it would be interesting to see where that goes. From the start of the episode, but this part here, right, when she's talking about what does it feel like, and she talks about it's like a thought come to life. I loved that line. It's showing that her power is she's almost like Green Lantern in a way. She's got that.
And then I'm not talking about the comics. I'm just talking about the series now, because they're kind of establishing that her mom says grandma was also like fantasizing a lot.
Daydreamer.
It kind of seems that the cosmic bands or brace need someone who has a lot of fantasy, a lot of creativity for it to work. So they're going like the Green Lantern. The fantasy is their only limitation to its powers. So that's why it fits Kamala, and that's why it fit her aunt. Not her aunt, but her grandma.
Yeah, and what I like about that is giving it to a young kid. It's also a coming of age story in a way. It's her coming of age, but giving this type of power to a young teen, I think it's a perfect power to give to someone young and learning about the world and learning about themselves, who still, because kids, a lot more often have more creativity and more dreaming, are more dreamy than us adults as we get older and beaten down by life, beaten down by work and all the constraints that come with life and bills. She has the imagination and creativity. Thank you, Often Studios. You put the words in my mouth. Literally, I saw that pop up. It's the imagination and the creativity of a youth that I think makes it so magical. And it brings me back to my youth and thinking about things like it's just being done really well. And then we go to the training montage, which I love, because I thought that this reminded me of Shazam, the training montage, again, of her learning her powers. It reminded me of in Shazam, where he's learning his powers and they're doing the tests on top of rooftops and things like that. I thought this was really fun, seeing what she could do or watch her figure out.
We're getting to learn how her powers work as well with her.
Yes. Yeah. And I thought I didn't get the clip of her like falling down and him saving her, and then she drops like 2 feet. It's those little things with Marvel that Marvel do. It's those little comedic steps, comedic timing that they put into their shows, or the people that they get to working on the shows. They all seem to just have it figured out. It gives me the vibes of like Ant-Man as well, in a way. Ant-Man, Spider-Man. I've got the vibes, the fun.
Every hero movie where they just have this training montage.
Yeah, you need a training montage, and it's good to see her playing around with her powers, and it's good that they're doing it together. And he's literally like the man. I will say it forever. He's the man in the chair.
Yeah,
he's the man in the chair. Her tech guy. Often Studio saying, "Love she did the Spider-Man window pose." Yeah.
It shows how much
For
she's just a stand for the Avengers.
yeah, and the fact that she's a fan of them all, I love how they're
Yeah,
tying all that in and how she talks about them and all those things. Like it's
yeah.
so cool. Then we come to this scene when they're in the mosque. What did you think of this whole story building scene? I actually thought it was really well done, showing their perspective from being in church or being in the mosque, I guess, and seeing how they get treated. What did you think? Do you think that was done well?
And
Do you
that's
think
what
it added?
no, like I like the fact that they create a modern character who still is very religious.
Mhm.
And now we get the story about her friend running, which is also
Yes.
like a fun little story.
Yes, because she's going up against odds, and I like
Yeah,
that they actually really like that they put that in there, and I like um, that they're adding this into the show because not only does it tie into the end of this episode, which is a setup for what happens at the end, right? This whole thing
yeah,
that they're going to, which is so well done again. Their beats of set, and this is the difference sometimes between Marvel and Star Wars. Their beats of setting up scenarios are just done just a bit smoother than Star Wars. Whereas like the Ortega scene setting up that whole end bit is whereas you might
it's
look at that
clunky
and
as
go,
well. Yeah,
it doesn't
yeah,
really make sense. Whereas this, you don't even it's so well done, you don't see it. It
yeah,
just is. You know what I mean? That she decides they run. They have this really interesting conversation about going on this journey and her wanting to be more and do more, which leads to an event to her to go promote, which leads to the heroic thing that she gets to do. It's just done so smooth. You don't see the clunkiness of them
yeah.
putting it together. And that I
You
think what sets
Yeah,
them
and you
apart.
explain the difference between Marvel doing it well and Star Wars being a bit more clunky, setting things up. Kind of reminds me of Raw or Delirious. I don't know which one it was, the Eddie Murphy shows, where he's
Yes,
talking
yes.
about they really want a McDonald's burger because he really wants
Yeah.
a perfect McDonald's burger, and he gets like this greasy, clunky, homemade mom burger.
Yes, I think that is that they're some of my favorite stand-up of all time. It always will be. I can't remember which one
I
that's
think
from
it's
though. I
Raw.
think
Could be
it might be
Delirious.
Raw. Yeah, I just love the mum throwing the shoe in the Clint Eastwood voice. I still use that to this day. Like I still talk like, "Why'd you eat the ice cream off the floor?" I still remember it. That's how
I love the
iconic that
kid
is.
crying with his snot, just not hitting the floor and just going right now. Okay.
Yeah. Classics. Absolute classics. But we've missed a few chats. So Often Studios are saying, love she did this. Oh, sorry, I did see that one.
Yeah.
And then he also says, only unrealistic thing is mum agreeing to let her go to the AvengerCon debacle. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. And Mojo78 is saying agreed. Yeah, they tie it together a lot better. But I thought this set up this whole section of the story set up
Yeah.
lots of backstory and things that are going to happen in the future about how they both feel about it and how they want to. They're the modern era, the modern age of their youth coming up
Yeah.
in their culture. Should be going for a month minimum. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. I love her parents though; they're so lovable.
You know.
They're so good. And okay, so they go to the party. I skipped ahead a bit again because I was under the pump yesterday, guys. Sorry, unfortunately, didn't get as many picks as I would have liked to. Oh, we've also got WRC Rally in the house. Hello, what's going on, mate? Thanks for being here. You're saying, bro. Thanks for coming, mate. But I wanted to add this car scene because this is like that awesome high school type film where they go into a party. You got the best friend loves the girl or has feelings for the girl. This new guy
Yeah.
comes in, and that look on his face says it all. I mean, that look of him like, oh god, she's in love with
Yeah.
this guy now. I don't stand a chance. Like, I
Yeah.
love that. I love how they did that.
Yeah.
And then he starts cock blocking. Like he literally, even from the party, he's just like, that was a real bad belly flop there, wasn't it? And that guy's like, no, I'm pretty sure I landed it. Like, I
That was
just
good.
love, like, as guys, I don't know if anybody that, like, if you've ever been there when you were younger and you liked a girl and she liked another guy and you were friends with her. That's like a pretty common thing that
Yeah,
happens in.
because before this episode, in episode 1, there was definitely something there, and he got friend zoned. He got friend zoned in
He
episode
got
2.
He literally got friend zoned. As soon as this guy popped off with his shirt on, her look, the next scene says it all. When she gets home, I thought this was hilarious. Like, she's in her own world when she gets dropped off from the party. She's in love. She's fallen for this guy. In the lighting in the house change. I love how she dances through the house. The lighting changes. She gets to the
Yeah.
parents, and obviously none of that's going on, but it's all in her head. It was
Yeah, and
done
I
so
love
well.
and I love the fact that he gets what she's struggling with. So
Yes.
and it's actually really liberating to find someone who knows exactly the same themes that you're struggling with, because she's really trapped between two worlds, and he is also, but he's found a way to deal with it, and to share it with her, and so they kind of get some humor now to deal with it, and that adds to her falling in love.
Yeah. I thought that was hilarious. I just thought that whole scene from the party, it's just classic high school movie. It brought me back to all the comedies I watched when I was growing up in that age, when you're in that age and all that stuff's going on. It was a great scene of just herself. And she is a freaking good actress. She is like very charismatic, the way she portrays the character. I feel like
it's
she's
like
very believable.
I don't think there are many great actors, so I don't think she's a great actress per se. I think she's just a really lovable human being, and that's one point that I didn't say from episode 1. There was like this girl she knew from years ago. I don't know what she's called, a popular girl, and she's supposed to be like mean to her, I guess. But just like with Oscar Isaac in episode 1, you can really see that people just like her. Not the actress, I mean, not Kamala Khan, but the actress. She's just too likable, I think, to be mean to her, even for actors.
Yeah, for sure. She's so damn likable, and just the scene at the start when she comes into the school dancing, the confidence, like, she's very lovable, happy-go-lucky.
She's really the
character.
perfect Kamala Khan.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, I tell you, this show has been such a surprise for me. It's like, I was coming in, I watched a few people's predictions about the show. I'm like, oh, it's going to be very kiddie. It's probably not going to be something I'm into. But in fact, it's done the opposite. It's brought the kid out of me and really brought back memories of being young and thinking about a coming of age story and adding it into the Avengers world that we all love. Like, it's what a surprise.
Yeah.
So damn fun. It's just a fun watch.
Yeah, I think you're right, because I really didn't think I needed a Miss Marvel in the MCU. But she adds so much. This series adds so much to it.
It does. And when they do the Young Avengers, which they will, it's going to be really cool to see how they integrate all these young characters together. And such smart thinking by Marvel to do something like bring in they're bringing in the next backups. Like, they're bringing it in. And if you just give it a chance and take it for what it is and let these new stories grow and don't expect the same thing. What I also think, I see it happening a little bit with Marvel fans. I don't know if you see it, and the guys in the chat, let me know if you agree, but I see a lot of people out there go, it's not the same as what the original 10 years after Endgame. Like, I've seen a lot of people say after Endgame, it's kind of, they don't know what they're doing, they're dropping off, and I'm like, no, just they've got to take these risks and do these other things. Otherwise, like, don't get caught up wanting them to do the exact same thing that Iron Man and Cap did. Those are those stories. Let it be. Move on. These are new stories, new people, new characters. You've got to let it get fleshed out. You can't expect an Endgame movie when you're doing. We didn't expect Endgame when we watched Iron Man 1, for Christ's sake. But people's expectations, they expect it all to be a Captain America Civil War. It's not going to be that. Let it build, and I'm really enjoying how these guys are doing it.
I really like the fact that you really have like different flavors in the MCU now, and there's so much MCU content. But it all has a different flavor. So
it all has a different flavor. And I'm glad that they're doing that. They have the balls to go for it.
Yeah, because I really don't think that they have to do something different. But I think Kevin Feige really wants to do something different, just to
Yeah.
challenge themselves. To be honest.
You have to. It's the same thing like when we do our posing videos. I'm always trying to do something different. I don't want to do the
Yeah,
same thing over and
yeah,
over because creatively it's boring for you. If you just pump out the
yeah.
same thing, you don't have that creative spark for it. But just to quickly catch up on the chat, often says Paul Bryan, I mean Bruno, classic. Great scene. Mojo78
Yeah.
says it was a great scene. Often Studios saying SW Star Wars needs to face the Illuminatis,
Illuminati.
maybe to get their mojo back. WRC Rally 12. I'm not too happy with the new Obi-Wan series. What do you guys think about it, John? Well, you came in. We actually just did the rundown of the last episode there, mate. But we're still enjoying it. We're enjoying the ride. And if you want to catch up on everything that we said, go back and watch the start of the episode if you can. We just want to keep this one rolling. But I'm
Yeah, but
enjoying
you
it.
do
I
need
think
to see
Anthony's.
episode 5. If you haven't, see episode 5.
Yeah, watch episode 5 if you haven't seen it because it's pretty fun. Often Studios, I think it's because we're all creatives. Yeah, I feel that too. I really do. They are literally rebuilding Often Studios. They
Yeah,
are rebuilding, and you've got to be willing to see where that goes. It just can't be the same thing.
yeah.
Even Thor is doing new, different things, and I love that they're doing different things.
Mm.
Mojo78 in Kevin Feige, we
Yeah,
trust. That
yeah,
is true.
yeah. We do,
Yeah,
we do,
yeah. We do trust.
and rightfully
He,
so. I think.
yeah, yeah. Oops, and rightfully so. Yeah, he's earned it for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. We do
I
trust.
think
He's
we
God.
missed
I want
out
a 1/6
something.
scale figure of Kevin Feige. What's that? I think we need to.
Yeah.
Lukagi saying, I think
Maybe
different
it'll be
people react
the
differently.
MCU's one above all. The new one.
He could be. So Lukagi saying, I think different people react differently to situations. This from her perspective, so maybe the world she sees is more colorful and fun, and how others see it. Agreed. She definitely. I love the way
Yeah.
she sees everything. Hot Toys often they're saying Hot Toys made one of one and gave it to him.
Oh,
That's right,
really?
they did, didn't they? Yes, I think they did. I think
Cool.
you're right. I need to find that. But we want one. I want a little Kevin Feige. I want a Kevin Feige
Cool.
figure. So let's go to the next scene. As we move this episode along, I put this in here because I think even this teacher is fun. Like he's been established, and I love the fact that he makes a Star Wars reference about being a Jedi. He
Yeah.
makes a Devil Wears Prada reference, and he's literally saying to this guy, "This is the part of the movie. You're the hero. This is your chance to go and do this big thing." But we see we can already feel he's conflicted. Like as soon as I saw this scene, I'm like, he's not going to want to go because he's in love with her and he's part
Yeah.
of this big magical thing now. He's not thinking about his goals and dreams anymore. He's
Yeah.
thinking about wanting to be with her.
True.
And I love that conflict. They brought this in. He's thinking about, as a young kid, his emotions are probably all over the place, but he's thinking about her. He's in love, or he's falling in love, and these whole magical things happening. He's got this great opportunity that he's probably not going to take advantage of, or he's thinking about not taking advantage of now because of that.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of us, when we're younger, have been in scenarios like that. When you've been, fallen for someone, I think they've portrayed that and built that story arc up really quickly in 2 episodes.
Yeah. Yeah. They did it really well. Yeah.
For you to understand that he's obviously clearly not wanting this. Whilst it's great, it's almost a curse at this time because he's like, that would move me to California,
Yeah.
all that type of stuff. So I just thought this was a great scene. Another great. They're still building in story, building in character development amongst all of this, whilst still making it fun. But this guy was hilarious, I thought. Dopo, day one pre-order if they release Kevin Feige. I think we all have to. You have to. He's the godfather of the cinematic universe. Bruno rocking the Marty McFly.
Yeah.
He is.
Yeah.
He is. We don't talk about Bruno. I just keep thinking of that kids movie, Encanto, that I've watched many times. He's LGBT and it doesn't feel forced. Yeah, it doesn't feel forced. No, he's just a cool character. He's a fun character, and he's in there for character development for both Miss Marvel and Bruno. for real.
Yeah.
I thought it was really well done. But we move along now to
because I
them.
kind of need to sleep soon.
Yes, we've got 4 or 5 more slides, so we can breeze through these. But what do you think about this whole building up? So, see, I didn't know that he has a history, right?
Yeah, but this scene is kind of building, like I said, he just gets what she's struggling with. So they kind of struggle with the same things together now, and they can find humor in it. So that's why their bond goes stronger and stronger.
Yeah, and you think they're going to build them close to break them down? You think that's where it's going?
Yeah.
They're going to build them, and then it's going to betray, or it's going to be a lesson for her to learn. I think a big lesson. Let me just remove.
I'm kind of thinking. Yeah. I'm thinking that his mom is going to have to do something with her grandma, and we'll see.
Yeah, I think so. But then the brother coming in, I thought that was another fun little add-in of the scene.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty good. Lukaki saying, I thought he was doing another cosplay, but it turned out to be his normal clothes. Is that for... Who is that for? I'm missing that one. Maybe? Who's he doing it? Maybe.
Bruno.
Bruno. Another cosplay. I get you. Sorry, I'm back. But let's skip ahead then from there to the family dinner scene. Again, another really well-crafted scene of them building the history, the story, which leads to this scene, obviously, of her seeing the vision of this woman. So this woman that she's seeing is that guy's mother. It's Kamran's mother, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So she's coming to her in vision.
To be honest, I didn't rewatch, but she looked the same from memory. So
let us know in the chat if you guys noticed anything different. Because when I saw this, I kept thinking she was seeing her grandmother or her great grandmother.
That's what I thought at first.
Yeah. Was anybody else thinking that was seeing her great grandmother coming to her in these visions, and just wearing the bracelet? Obviously, give her the connection to whatever this is. I think we're going to go through a while of seeing her, get used to figuring out these powers. But I thought they did that really well. That whole scene of them talking as a family, again, just really clever, really good story building.
To be honest, maybe if it's her great grandmother, maybe even her grandmother and Cameron's mom or grandma are siblings, because they jokingly said this is cousin. I don't know what she's called him. Maybe
yes,
but maybe they're actually family, very distant family.
Maybe, but I feel like she's still in love. She's still in love.
That's not so relatable, because I'm like a quarter Indian, and everyone's family. So you can meet like 100 people, and everyone's called like cousin this, or niece this, or aunt this, and they're like not even remotely related, but just related like 6 generations away, but everyone's called family.
So that's a great insight, actually, because as I did not pick that up. I didn't say. I love that insight that's how a lot of the community will talk that way. That's awesome to know that, because that makes it even more funny how they drop that in.
Actually, it's not unthinkable that someone introduces like a cousin and you don't know it. So that's why I can kind of believe it.
Okay, I feel that is cool. Let's go to the next one. We got 2 more after this, guys. The whole setup again of them going in to this party was set up perfectly. I love he's cosplaying again. He's in another outfit. This scene, I will say, reminded me just like of the white guy who just looks well out of place somewhere dressing up. I've been there before with a wife who's Vietnamese and the Vietnamese family. I have been this guy. this guy before in these scenarios, just looking like an absolute gazelle, out of place, trying your best to fit in. I loved that. I thought that was hilarious. The whole scene was cool. I thought. So then we have a bit more story building for her friend, going up to her dad and convincing her. I thought was really cool. Her playing off him like, you care about your daughter, don't you? I'm her friend. I thought that was just, again, loving the character. I love all the characters that they're bringing in. And we got some laughing, which is that's been me before, for real. Leighton Richards, what's up, Leighton? Thanks for chiming in, mate. It's great we're getting such a mix of content in Phase 4: sitcom, sci-fi, street level, Christmas, coming of age, cosmic, magic, and more. Yeah, I look at it for that, and I completely agree, Leighton. Can't wait for the Love and Thunder, especially the goats. Yeah, me too. Me too.
And now he's talking about Christmas and street level. So I'm thinking about Hawkeye right away. And like the thing that they did with Hawkeye, which was brilliant, is they made superheroes human again. So they not only made it streetwise, but they actually made them human with all the bruise and bumps, and they needed ice for everything. So they went higher and higher up. Bigger, faster, larger superheroes, and then they brought it back down to the most human basic level you can get. And so that was another flavor they brought.
It completely. And a lot of people who have complained about it getting out of control with what they're doing. Of course, it's going to be, when it's going cosmic and into other worlds, there's going to be more of this stuff, right?
Yeah.
But you're right. Hawkeye is completely human level, brings it back down, reminds us that this is still part of the world. And I feel like even though Miss Marvel is cosmic, this is very grounded and real world right now, at least anyway. You know what I mean? Like, so I think, I'm all in. But well said, Leighton. I think that was a great point, mate. This scene was cool when she's saving the kids. So I thought that was fun watching her get up there. Again, it's more comedic action. It's not serious danger. It's more fun, and as it should be for a kids show, well, for a younger audience. But I love that this woman's coming through again. It scares her. She nearly drops the kid, but then manages to save him, which was cool. I thought that was pretty cool. But lastly, the last scene, guys, the last clip I've got. I found this one online. I got excited when I saw this. When I saw the drone, I'm like, I have drones in my collection. I started thinking about posing ideas for characters and figures, and I'm like, what is Tony Stark tech doing in this show? Now, me and Anthony had a quick chat about this backstage. What do you guys think about seeing the Stark drones still in this world? And the cops, I completely missed the scene of the cops interrogating the friend at the part, the popular girl at the party, right? But they're keeping them in the story. What are their intentions? This one, are we rating with ice cream pizza? That's another good one. We're still going with slushies because Bob dropped in last time. We'll go with slushies, but ice cream pizza is another good one.
Yeah, and about the drones, there was like a cooperation between Damage Control and Stark Industries, and now that Stark is dead, I think they just modified the drones and just went with it.
I think so. I'd be interested to see if there's more backstory to it, though, and if it will connect to Armor Wars at all.
Oh, this is a great one. I didn't even see it.
I know. Leighton, dropping the freaking bomb, bro.
Yeah.
Did you guys notice that the kid she saved was the one who stole Camilla's friend's shoes? I did not.
That's funny.
Now I need to watch it a third time to go back and check that. That's
awesome.
What a pickup, bro.
Yeah.
That is sweet. I did not notice that. That is hilarious, though. Again, they're just... Okay, I need to focus harder. Once Obi-Wan's done, I can focus harder on this show so we can maybe pick up some of the things we're missing, some of the Easter eggs. But I thought that's actually really cool.
Yeah.
And often studios are saying Damage Control took control of the drones, I guess. Yeah, it looks like that. But who's... Yeah, I want to see more on that. Yeah, and will we see more of them throughout this show? I feel like we're going to, with the way they're going. Mojo's just laughing. Oh shit, Leighton Richards says Often Studios. Definitely. Yeah, dropping fire, Leighton. That's pretty much it. Anthony, do you want to give final thoughts, final rundown of this episode? Was it as good as episode 1? Where are you at with your rating? 1 out of 5 slushies on this one, guys. So I will bring up, I did create the little thing for it this time. So we've got episode rating for Miss Marvel, 1 out of 5 slushies. For me, I'd probably say, man, I feel like I'm too easy. I'm like, it's 5 out of 5. Like, I don't know what else I could have expected. Thinking about how they told the story, how they incorporated more things in, I thought it was a great episode.
Yeah,
so I'm going to go with 5 slushies.
For me, it's definitely between 4 and 5, somewhere between 4 and 5, because I think episode 1 was a 5 out of 5 for me, or maybe even a 6 out of 5 for me, because I just didn't expect it. I just didn't
Mm.
expect the show to be as fun and bubbly, well thought out, well done, well cast. They did everything right. And I
Yeah.
was less amazed by that in episode 2. First of all, because Obi-Wan episode 5 was amazing. But second of all, I was kind of into it already. Now I already knew that it was a great show. But it's definitely between 4 and 5.
Yeah. And thinking about it, right? There's 9 episodes this series, so we're going to get more episodes. They're quite,
Okay, cool.
and they're quite long episodes. I just keep thinking about how much we already know and are connected with these guys only after 2 episodes.
Yeah.
How much character and story development they've put in after 2 episodes is
feels like we're at episode 4, to be honest.
Right? Like there's just so much. We just know so many characters, and we know who they are already, and we know her struggle. It's just they've done a really masterful job of not only writing it, but like you said, the casting, everything, the feel of the show. I'm a big one on feels, and that's why I love the Ant-Man films, because of the feel of them, the comedy, like the way they do the heist part of it. I really enjoy
and I love
that part.
co-writing it, just like Ryan Reynolds doing the Deadpool ones.
Yes.
4.8 out of 5. Yeah.
Nice, often. Nice.
I could go with that.
And Leighton saying, I loved Far From Home and watched it 3 times in the cinemas, so it was damn cool to see these drones back. I thought I was seeing things to start. I know, so did I. I sent to Lani, I was like, is that a freaking drone? It's a bloody drone. It's back. Yeah, I love Far From Home too, mate. That's I love all the Spider-Man films. I'm easy. In fact, I might even watch one again today if we get time. Just because. 4 slushies for Lukagi. And is there really 9? As far as I've heard, yeah, I think there's 9. If you IMDb it, I don't know if they're all on IMDb yet, but I heard I read somewhere that there's 9 episodes, and that is actually really cool, because that's all the others until now have been 6 or so. Yeah. Oh no, hang on, it's saying 6. You serious? I thought there was 9.
6.
Maybe there's only 6. Okay, I retract that. Don't listen to me. I don't know who said there was 9. I'm going to go search for that article to see if I see why I'm thinking there was 9. Anyway, so if there is only 6, either way, we feel like we're at episode 4 already.
Yeah,
which is awesome. Might be She-Hulk. Maybe that's what I'm thinking. Okay, maybe that's what I'm confusing it with. Okay. But even still, I'm looking forward to She-Hulk too. Slushies make my brain freeze, much as that they do, but they're so damn good. And Butch says 5 slushies for me. Yeah, nice, nice Butch. Got you, Butch. And Often Studio saying, I just got more drones from Pop Culture's sale, so I'm happy. I got 2 drone packs, so I'm with you. I love playing around with my drones. They're fun to try and put into scenes, that's for sure. But I think that does it for today, guys. Now, the last scene, obviously, was them getting picked up by Kamran and his mum, and we meet her, and obviously that's going to lead into the next episode. We're going to find out more about them. So I don't know too much about them, so I'm looking forward to finding out more. Here you go. I think Kev Feige said there's 9 if they're 9 if they're half hours, like one division. Okay, I get you. So maybe that's what I'm confused. I will do better research next time, so I'm not spitting out false facts. But let's remove
fake
this.
News. Fake news.
Yeah, fake news. I'm dropping fake news, guys. That John guy, always dropping fake news. What a dick. I'm sorry, guys. First, Lukagi, I wonder if people who worked with Mysterio in Far From Home would be involved, since they understand the Stark Tech. That would be cool. The way they're going, I feel like they could do any of that. I still know we're probably going to see Miss Marvel at some point, which I think would be fun. And who knows? I'm hoping we hear some of the Scott Lang podcast, or we see him doing that in Quantumanium. I think that would be hilarious, because I don't see them making up something like a podcast and then not paying it off later. I feel like they'll, I feel like they'll pay that off at some point.
Yeah, they will.
So I'm looking forward to that. But all in all, guys, everyone that's still here and who watches this in the replay, let us know your thoughts in the comments down below. Give us your ratings for both shows. Out of the lightsabers for Obi-Wan, slushies for Miss Marvel, and come back to us next week, same time, same place, where we will go over the finale of Obi-Wan and episode 3 of Miss Marvel, and then from there we'll probably just do Miss Marvel until something else comes about. But Anthony, any last words before we finish up, mate, from you?
It was a great week. Obi-Wan really picked up again, and Miss Marvel just continued to entertain. So that was awesome. Ready for next week.
Ready for next week. Often Studio says, haha, all good, John. Yeah. love the drones, mate. All right, everybody. In the chat, we appreciate you all being here. Often Studios, First Lukagi, Butch in the house, Leighton Richards, dropping fire. We've got Mojo78, as always, legends. Let me just see who else. I don't want to miss anyone. WRC Rally, thanks for being in the chat, mate. We've also got Mawitso in the house. Thanks for being back this week, Mawitso. Tom Fleury, thanks for being here. See a Dream, Renz Tolentino, Bob Dylan, DS Icons. Also, Shane, 16 Figure Focus for dropping in. He dropped some facts on us too, which was pretty cool. Well, that we'll definitely go back and check.
He dropped,
I think,
cool theories.
Cool theories, sorry, not facts. Here I go with spitting fake news again. KC Toy Reviews as well in the house. Riley Reviews popped in. KG popped in. We had a good turnout in the chat today, guys. So we appreciate you all being here. We hope to see you next week, and we can keep building our book club here that we have, movie club, whatever we want to call it. I think movie club. So we can keep getting more people on there. Before we head, First the Kagi says they should release it on Spotify. Oh, we should. I don't know. I can look at that one day. I'm going to get my production value up a bit better. Oven Studios, Doctor Strange on Disney Plus next week. I know. I can't wait. I'll hopefully be able to drop my posing showcase on this guy too next week.
Great time.
If I can finish it off, I'll definitely be watching that again. And Leighton is saying, Anthony, you're making me want to get more 501st. Going to get the third party Dark Side Anakin and tie that hair back. Tie the hair back.
To be honest,
that's cool.
I actually, because of this episode, I actually bought another one, but a regular one instead of the deluxe one, because the deluxe ones are starting to raise in price, man. So I got a regular one, and yeah, I know. I make me want to get more as well.
Anthony is crazy, guys. Just so you know. Wait till you see him drop this Pennywise video. I tell you what, I can't wait to see it. I can't wait. See you next time, Lukagi. Thanks for being here, mate. Oven Studios, Anthony's Mysterio vid made me get another maybe get other drones.
That's cool.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. And Leighton says, thanks for the stream, guys. Always enjoy tuning in. Thanks for being here, brother. We appreciate you being here. Yeah, and thanks for being in the chat too. We want more people to join the chat. Let's get the conversation going. It'll be a lot easier when we're doing one show at a time too. But we've done 2 hours.
Yeah, in the rundown chat is more important than in other streams, I guess, because the chat makes the club. So
this is our movie club. We want
people come back. Yeah,
that's right. We want to talk. We want you guys in here. So again, thank you for everyone who participates. Until next time, guys. Catch us on the next one. Peace.